And finally, what's up, everybody? Sorry about that. Had some internet issues. I have a really dope router. The problem is when you have a really nice router like I do, it's kind of difficult to reset whenever you have to reset it. And there's nothing you can do about having to reset a router sometimes. But boy, I had a fist fight because I had everything set up and ready to rock. All I had to do was come in here and push the go button. That didn't work. That thing said failure to connect. I'm over here tripping like, what you mean failure to connect, bro? We got 2 minutes. So anyway, a reset router and we're back. Carolina Keith, regular Keith. I hate Keith. God, Keith sucks. Still glad you're here. Boy, has it been a depressing couple weeks. So without wasting a bunch of time, let's get into it. If you haven't done so, please, there's exactly 12 people on here. How about that? So if you haven't done so, please do me a solid. Go hit like. It costs nothing to hit like. All right, it's free. The more likes we get, the more this goes around YouTube for us automatically. While you're there, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. All right. So I got the CME chart pulled up right here for Bitcoin. Also, Bud Heavies, man. I'm gonna tell you what. It's been a wild ride over here for me, and I don't know how you guys are doing, but boy, oh man, it's been wild. So that's just how I can say it, right? So I'm gonna have a beer and relax tonight, and I hope everyone else is too. Okay, we'll make sure we get to everybody's comments as we like to do on here. If you've never been on one of these streams, we repeat comments over here whenever you guys ask them. I don't really care what the comment is, barring that it's not completely ridiculous. So if you guys would do me a favor, I forgot to do this on the last stream. Drop in the comments right here and tell me where you're from, where you're watching from, and say what's up real quick. All right, I want to see where everybody's from. Let's see what the world's up to tonight. So I've got the CME chart pulled up here. Let's have a drink, because man, I know you guys, some people get all irritated and pressed whenever I don't sit here and talk about what they want me to talk about, but I'm gonna be straight with y'all, man. It's my stream. I made it for y'all, so enjoy what you get to come see. All right, and that's not me saying I don't want you to be here. I want everybody to be here. I don't want to dismiss anybody, but I mean, look, I have to add banter to the chart. I can't just show the chart. No one will care. So let's have a drink. I know that seems a certain kind of way, but it is what it is. I mean, I can't help it. That's how people are. People have the attention span of TikTok, which is basically 15 seconds. I have 15 seconds to make a first impression on whoever's watching. Isn't that crazy? 15 seconds? But it is what it is. That's why I do that little intro with a monologue every time when I start the stream. Right? It's important. So anyway, I've got the CME chart pulled up here. The blue box is kind of support. It goes back a good ways here. That's why I drew it like I drew it. If we step back here, we can see that this support box has been support for quite a while. It goes all the way back to the last bull run, twice forming the support level up here. That's why I didn't think price would fall too far down here. But here again, that's why I'm just a guy, and I'm not blockchain backer. I'm not all the other guys on YouTube doing tons of chart streams. I'm just a regular dude like everyone else. And that's what I hope you guys can all relate to. Just a normal ass dude trying my best here, okay? I do this for a living, yeah, but you're getting to see all the bad that comes along with the good. Right? I don't hide any of it. I fail all the time. I tell this to everybody. I fail all the time, and you're going to fail as well. So get used to it. I mean, the only way you learn is by failing. Do y'all have any idea how much I've failed in my life? It's took a long time just to get to this point. All right. So don't be too upset when I fail and think, oh my God, he doesn't know what he's doing. I get it. I know you want to think that, and you're fair to think that, but hey man, just know it's not easy. All right. The charts aren't so complicated, but gosh, communicating this stuff is tough. I know everyone thinks, oh, I can be a streamer. Keith just gets on there and bullshits for an hour, right? Let me tell you what, it's not easy. You may think it is, but when you get on here and realize there's people watching, and all of a sudden you start going, like I've done it before myself. Y'all will see me do it on here. Anyway, support level still holding. There's a ton of negative after that. That's the only good thing I've got. It's on support. That's all I got. So let's go a little deeper. Oh, I got one more good thing. I'll pull up the weekly chart. Trend line is still intact. And the reason I'm going to call this the trend line and not drawn in a different way is if I pull up the weekly 50 moving average, look, the weekly 50 moving average is essentially the exact same as the trend line. It's not perfect, but it's really close. I'm going to try to give this CME chart more weight than take weight away from it because I think this may be the key to seeing what we need to see here, the CME chart. And I feel a little slack for not noticing more often that I should just stick to the CME chart and use it. We do have an 821 downward cross on the weekly here. That sucks. I would agree. Over the 50 is still good. So as long as it stays over the 50, I'm pretty happy about it. But what's interesting is if I drop down to the daily, we're under the 200 moving average now. Man. All right. So it did this back here. If it stays under this 200 moving average for too long, I said over the Discord that if it failed the 200, I'd be looking to get out. And I'm telling you all now, if this stays under the 200 moving average for more than a couple days, I got to scale out. I have to start selling some. I have to. It's too much risk and not enough reward to keep hanging on. If this fails and breaks this 200 and stays down here and takes a dive at this trend line, oh my gosh. It's flirting with disaster because then these moving averages are going to start to work their way down to the 200 and we could get death crosses. Breaking this trend line is bad enough. That's kind of a kiss of death, but then you get death crosses and everything else, man. You guys understand that's bad, right? I mean, I got to convey that message. That's not great. So I'm going to give this till Monday. If this can get back over the 200 moving average by Monday, and the reason I say Monday is CME's closed on the weekend. So if this can maintain for the weekend, Bitcoin can maintain and then take a chance at jumping back over the trend line, jumping back over the 200 moving average on Monday, then I'll give it some more weight back. All right. Important to know we have 2+ weeks here before we get the big day for the Fed, which is the same day for the former president. That's going to be a volatile time. It kind of seems like the week or two heading up into that time is going to be a volatile time. So it's really important for everyone to stay on their game here and be ready. I hate the fact that I might have to sell some of this stuff, but it is what it is. I can't sit here and deny it. If it doesn't get back up here to close to where it was and want to fight with this blue box and try to go back above the blue box, that's going to be ugly. I would like to see it jump up here to the cloud and get over it. That would be excellent. That's 60,000, 61,000 in the cloud would be better than not, right? Try to improve. I have a big divergence between the baseline and the conversion line here. That usually doesn't stay that large. I usually get some sort of conformity back, some coming back together there, and some convergence. It's way down right now. The lag line is working its way toward the candles. Usually when it starts to work toward the candles and hits the candles, that's where we see a reversal. So if this lag line continues and runs into these candles, we could see a reversal up. That would be excellent. My woe is me thing here is if this just breaks the candles and then ends up on this side of the candles, well, that's under them, and that's not great. So what do I need to see here realistically? I need to see a good bit of pullback up for the rest of the day, being Friday. We've had a lot of good Fridays, and we had a bad Friday last Friday. I want to see a lot of good Friday coming up. Hold the line for the weekend. This is going to be tough. Hold the line for the weekend, and then Monday, show me some more pressure up. And if you can do that, well, I'll sway my opinion back to not bailing. Unfortunately, I have to see that for what it is and on the reality that things are struggling. And I fully understand that. Let's say hey to some people, shall we? Peter Navarro, what's up? The wolf pack, dude. Good to see you though, bro. Jay Gross. Interesting. I want to talk about this for a second because I saw this comment when I was working on getting the stream started. Listening to a group of BTC hodlers today, the main problem they seem to have is, but what if I'm not in the market when it makes a big jump? I wonder if there's a way for you to quantify. Absolutely there is, and we'll do that here shortly. I'll record it, and then you can, here's what I'll do, Jay Gross. I'll record the bit that I'm going to do here. I'll send it to you on X, and then I want you to post it to your people you're talking about. They don't have to listen. They probably won't. We know that. But then they'll have some understanding of what a chart says and how we can kind of tell this stuff. How many of these occasions actually happen so people would not be worried about missing out? That's a good question. Me and another guy had marked it down pretty good to maybe 6 to 8 weeks of really needing to hodl, and every other time not being really worth it fiscally. But those 6 to 8 weeks, each time being the best time. And I really think that's Q4 coming up. We'll talk about that. Charts can't lie. Classes in session. Good to see you, brother. Carmine Glitch. What's up, my guy? Good to see you. 65K rate cuts on that day or by that day? Is that what you're saying? Or before that day? Specify there for me. Branford, what's up? What's up, Cheese? Hit that like on the way, people. There's no more logical channel. Hey, thank you, Deb. What's up, Soto, Frumpo? Phonetic Duck, how you doing? Shemus. I said Shemus, my bad. Good to see you. Soto said, ain't that Murphy's Law? Bro, you're right. I hope you can get more than 4 hours sleep a day. Nah, dude. So after this, we have our Zoom. If you guys don't know, wap.com/786 at the bottom down there. All the subs, every time we have a stream like this, after the stream, we jump over on Zoom and you can ask me anything you want, anytime you want. That's the whole point of the Zoom. I want you to get to know me, talk to me one-on-one and not be afraid, right? Give everybody the chance to do that every single week. What's up, California, though? Sorry about that. I know where you're at, by the way. What's up, San Antonio? Okay, SA. What's up, New York, Soto? All right. I know where Crypto Trauma is. That's my cousin. Golden Tall Man, what's good, my guy? Keith's a basic white guy. That's racist because I'm more Native American than you realize. And Sub-Saharan African. Figure that out. But it is what it is. You can't tell from the camera, but if I turn the light off, look, then I don't look so white. Right? I kind of look more Native American with the big thick eyebrows and other. But when I turn the light back on, I look hella white. Just because it's bright ass lights in my face. 100% I had massive fails these past 2 months. I got humbled. We all need to be humbled. That's a great point. Shemus is in Japan. Good to see. That's awesome, bro. That's badass. You're all the way in Japan. I would love to visit Japan. Basic white guys unite. Oh, what's up, Nigeria? Okay. Big Fish. What's up, my guy? Low key, I think BTC is going to kiss 48. Honestly, if we hit 48, I think we're in big trouble. Colo, good evening. Bernardo, you guys at any trade right now? I'm shorting. Yeah, I haven't sold anything really. I closed my shorts. That's right. Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, and Mara. I hear you. You bought those. That's dope. Crypto Elephant, what's up? What's up, Rob? You still in New Orleans? Yeah, I remember. You guys think I don't remember this stuff, but I do remember. I remember people. I remember things. That's why I consider a bunch of you guys my friends. And it really sucks to see people like not want to be friends anymore. It's crazy, man. Like I don't have anything against any. Well, I take that back. A couple people. But for the most part, 99.9% of the people I got nothing against, man. 65K rate cuts by rate cuts day. Okay, so 65 by the day. Then sell the news back to 50. Ooh, okay, well, I mean, I guess. Crew Chief, what's up? Good to see you, Josh Udall. Jeremy said red people, hashtag red people. That's pretty good. Me and him both are, he's a little bit more Cherokee than I am. You know what I want to do was the 23andMe stuff, but I don't want to give the government all my DNA information. But then again, they probably already have it. So I thought about doing a 23andMe just to see all the super details. Someone had done it. Someone had done one like that for me, a different one. and said that, this and this and this, using some other lineage and stuff. It wasn't a blood test, though. So yeah, interesting point. So that's kind of my take for Bitcoin. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but right now I just need to see for sure fight back up. And I'll do it again over here on the Binance chart. I got fibs pulled up on this one. This is our big 886 line right there. All right, that 886 line. I didn't want to see it fail, but here it is trying to fail, right? There you go. There's 886, 786. Sniper's Alley is in between the two. All right, we came down here and made a really clean touch on the trend line here. If this comes down anymore, and this is regular Bitcoin, not Bitcoin CME, and this is again why I don't want to see it come down here to 50,000. Below 50,000, I'm sorry, under the trend line is where 50,000 is. You get down there, we're SOL. That's under the trend line and on the wrong side of the railroad tracks. So I can't have that happen. That has to stay above the trend line. That being said, the first thing it's got to do is get back over this 886, which is about 58,250, 58,003, somewhere around in there. It needs to get back over that line for sure. Doesn't get back over that line, we are SOL. Simple as that. I have to see it get back over that. Fair enough that it's failing. I understand it sucks. Let me show you the side-by-side of what we got here. So Jay Gross, this is part of what I was talking about. So this is 2016 that I have on the left and 2024 that I have on the right. I'll drop the camera off here for a moment. Really what you see here is after having, we've had a drop off. After having, we've had a drop off. Follow the cursors, what I'm trying to say. Here's our drop off post halving. Here's our drop off post halving. Before halving, we had a peak. Before halving, we had a peak. If you don't know that, the vertical green line is halving. The cool thing here is that in 2016 at halving, we were in the golden pocket, 618 to 71 fib. See that? We were in this zone right here. Now we are at a higher price zone, 786, 886. Look, 618, 786, 618, the golden pocket area down here is under the trend line. Big fail. That's why I say we can't have that. We can't have that. Furthermore, looking back in history, Q4 has been the real kicker. Let me go show you real fast. Pull up the index Bitcoin chart here. We'll go to weekly. Oh, I didn't mean to draw that. Yeah, I said it. Let me drink. If I say, oh, didn't mean to draw that, I have to drink. Because I'm an idiot and I say that a lot. So cheers. Yeah, I drunk. You could hear it. Looking back in history. And for you guys who watch this recording back, I'm a normal dude. Sorry, I'm not going to sit up here and act like some hyper nerd to you because I'm not. I'm just a normal dude, but I do this for a living. So I can tell everyone, bet against me. It's not smart. You shouldn't bet against me. From having to the end of the biggest top we have was only about a year. See that? 357 days. From having to the top was only about a year. And really, you can stretch that out a little bit more and say it was 533 days. But truly, we had about a year when you should hold, roughly. And that wasn't even the bottom. That was just roughly. It was the best time to hold for about a year. Essentially, you could break it down to about 2 months before halving, back in 2020, was the perfect time. Furthermore, if you want to break it down a little farther than that, I'm going to break it down a little farther than that. Here's the top of 2017, and we'll scale this back each time to show you. And here's the bottom after the peak in 2017. That was right at 1 year, 371 days, basically a year. Okay. What I didn't show you was the peak and the fall that we just had in 2021. Right here's the top. Right here's the bottom. How long was that? about 365 days, almost exactly a year. Almost. Working back. Let me erase these circles real fast and we'll work back. Same thing. Peak of 2013, bottom 2015. And if you see this each time, these green lines are halving lines. This is very symmetrical. In case you didn't know, Bitcoin is a mathematical powerhouse and you can't stop it. You just can't stop it. Going back here a little bit, all the way back to 2013, it took even longer to find the bottom, depending on how you want to look at it. But if we counted this as the bottom, which is about 400 days, you had just over a year. And if you went all the way out to over here, a year and 2 months. Each time, if you've noticed, the days have gotten a little smaller, not a ton smaller. So we've worked backwards from a little over a year to right at a year to a little under a year. So once we peak out, which also happens to tend to be the end of an odd year, makes sense if you think about it, but the end of 2013, the end of 2017, the end of 2021, what's next? The end of 2025. The end of 2025 should be where about our peak is. Then, for what it's worth, we can sell and wait roughly a year to rebuy. Sit on your hands and wait till the next peak comes in, which will be 4 years from the last peak. So the end of 2028, right? No, end of 2024, and 25. The end of 2029 will be the next peak after the one we have coming up in 2025. So you can sit on your hands. End of 2025 comes up, we sell. Beginning of 2026, go time, or right near the end of 2026, beginning of 2027, I mean. So we're going to sit out on the sidelines for about a year. We'll rebuy. We'll ride the wave all the way back up again. At the end of 2029, sell again and do it all over. And that's just Bitcoin. You don't have to do anything else. Obviously, altcoins aren't as consistent as this. Not even close to consistent like this. Bitcoin is mathematically sound. Until you change the math of it, you're not going to stop this same thing from continuing playing out as long as we have a demand. If there is no demand, we don't get this. We have a demand, and we'll always have a demand now as long as ETFs exist. And it's only a matter of time before they make another derivative and another derivative and another derivative. You know they will. So let's not act like they won't. If that's the case, you're only going to have more demand. So far, I talked to a guy about this the other day who works for a mutual fund investment company. And he was saying that, his customers' portfolios are like 2% Bitcoin. 2%. Okay, let's move it up to 5. How much of a jump does that get us? What about 10? In time, as Bitcoin's utility for people's retirements increases, as that increases, you're going to see the demand go up even more. And as long as we have demand, this mathematical powerhouse will continue to math. You can't stop it. You can only hope to contain it. I hope that kind of explains. Ow, my elbow. I hope that kind of explains what I'm kind of trying to say. Important there. Mom did one of those a while back. Oh yeah. I haven't done. My mom did one too, and hers come back, and I was like, well, show me. And she showed me. And I was like, well, mine's gonna be similar to this. Only thing is, my dad's side is completely different than her dad's side. So I'm curious, but again, I don't know, man. It's kind of one of the things I don't want to know, but I do want to know. It's stupid, I know. So let's look at total market cap real fast. I got it right here. Total cap. I'm going to look at stable coins in a moment too. Total cap, if I keep this parabola up here, it's no problem. But I don't know that this parabola is a true guarantee of what's actually going on here. Right? I'm not exactly certain on that. So I'm watching closely with this parabola. I'm not sold. If you'll notice, much like 2016, we're down here near the golden pocket. If you remember that, right here, 2016. Oh, didn't mean to move that. 2016, right here, just after halving, we were near the golden pocket. Here's halving on the chart for total market cap. July, April. 420 basically was having. It's 419, but call it 420. It's easy to remember, isn't it? So just the same, you see, shortly after halving, we're sitting near the golden pocket. So far, it looks very similar to 2016. Y'all know what happened in 2016. The chart went dead straight like this once it got moving. Things are different now. I would agree. There's way more money in the market. We can't compare it one-to-one and expect the same gains that you got in 2016. That's not going to happen. But a similar chart layout would net good gains and have a similar look to the candle structures. And I do think that'll pan out. I'm very curious what happens in the next couple weeks. The next couple weeks are the most telling couple weeks since the pandemic. The next 2 weeks are the most telling time since the pandemic. All right? Simple as that. All the other stuff has been fun. Oh, we had some big ups. Oh, no, we had a bear market. That's standard stuff. In 2 weeks, we're going to have some of the most volatile news that you could possibly have on one day. All right? Like I've said in the Discord, you could argue it and say I'm wrong, and that's fine. I would honestly listen to your argument. This might be the biggest day in the history of the country. The first time you would potentially jail a political opponent since the Constitution was written, especially a former president. That's what banana republics do typically. That'd be the first time that ever happened, which is insane that we're even talking about it. And on the same day, the federal government decides, the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, decides how far they're going to cut rates back. Are they going to cut it 1/4%, 0.5%, a whole percent? Vegas has 1/4% as the favorite, 0.5% with decent odds. 1% has, oh God, I think it was 300 to 1 or something stupid like that. That's crazy money. So that ain't going to happen. Vegas is usually really accurate, that stuff. Quarter, I think, is for sure. A half is a roll of the dice. I think a 0.5 point might be too much at once. I don't think they'll do it because of that reason. I think it'll probably, Jerome's a puss, bro. He's going to do the weakling move, in my opinion. He'll do the weakling move. If he's going to do the weakling move, we're not going to get much. That's just kind of how I see it. So, watching the total market cap carefully, total 2 and total 3 really aren't that much different. They're just a slightly lower level, and they're pretty much identical. Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of running the show here. Just can't not talk about Bitcoin dominance here. Still hanging out near the 618 fib and still rejecting off the 618 fib perfectly. This is the golden pocket for a reason. All right. Break it or don't, but figure out what you're going to do. As we say in the South here, piss or get off the pot. And it won't get off the pot just yet. You can see right there, just banging its head on resistance, doesn't want to surrender. It's still above all the trends, so I got to keep giving it weight until it falls. Bitcoin dominance gets its flowers until it gives up. Again, when I see this yellow line fail, my opinion will change. And then if we see anything like the drawing I have drawn play out, which so far has played out nearly exactly like I thought it would, which is crazy. All the more evidence to show you friends, Jay Gross, charting this stuff out to the week most of the time. And we're not perfect. We never will be. Does this run till the end of the year? Does Bitcoin dominance hold up to the end of the year? Or do we flake out a little bit early? Really curious myself. If it's going to have a big, strong comeback here and push up for the end of the month in September and through October, November, December, we're going to have to get up here in the upper levels. It's simple as that. We're going to have to get up here in the upper levels. Will that happen? Well, it happened back in the day. Went all the way to the 71. We could go all the way to the 71 over here and then fail back from there. I'm watching carefully. This thing continues to be a powerhouse and hasn't failed yet. Until it fails, can't bet against Bitcoin. I want to sell. I'm telling you, I do. The market's spooking me a good bit here, and I don't get scared very often. I'm not scared. It's just I have to weigh risk versus reward. And when I'm risk versus reward, and when I'm wrong, I got to call myself wrong and figure it out. And man, it's teetering right on the edge. You know what I'm saying? It's teetering right on the edge. That's worrisome, but ain't nothing I can do about it. If I get any extra money, I'll continue to buy and DCA if I can. Well, BlackRock owns the rights to Ancestry, I think now, so yeah, I'm all good. I know well enough. I'm Cherokee and smartass. I'm good with it, which is crazy, dude. Let's look at Ethereum real fast. Let me get rid of this scan grid and go to a normal Ethereum chart. Let me grab the Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum CME chart. Right here is the upper CME gap. In case you haven't heard about me talk about CME gaps before, Chicago Mercantile Exchange is the futures exchange in Chicago for Ethereum. It closes on the weekends just like it does for Bitcoin. It closes on the weekends, and it closes for an hour each day. During that closing, regular Bitcoin and Ethereum keep going. We know that. Thing is, this market stops. And when it stops, it creates gaps, just like the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, okay? Those gaps tend to fill. And as you see, we have not filled this gap. And by filling the gap, I mean, after you make a big drop like this, you need to come back up here and get back to where the gap started. It has not done that. As you see, it fell short. This works the same way in the other direction. If I have a gap on the bottom, it may go up for a little bit, but it will eventually come back and close said gaps. It's pretty typical. Right here's a great example. Had a CME gap right there, and this thing came back and closed it. Just like that, all right? Ethereum has never left a CME gap above the price. I'm to think it's going to close this. And if that's the case, from here, to close the CME gap is 25% on Ethereum. Just to close the CME gap. And I'm pretty sure that's going to close. So should I really be running away? You see the internal battle I'm having with myself here? Right? I'm just being straight with y'all. Give me a thumbs up or something in the chat if you understand what I'm saying here. This is a really tough call. I guess that's why people are looking for me to say it. I mean, the conservative me wants to run away. And the take a risk me is saying, nah, bro, what are you doing? Buy more. That's a really tough spot, man. It's a really tough spot. I'm stuck. I gotta wait. Sucks, man. Well, you know, like I said before on here, when you're unsure, do nothing. And I'm really unsure right now. I don't have the conviction to say this is going to fall off the face of the earth. I don't have the conviction to say it's going to go up. That leads me to believe I should do nothing. That sucks, doesn't it? Damn, dude. That sucks. I'm just being real with y'all. I don't like to... You're going to come on here and watch me. You're never going to see me bullshit you. That's just how I do my stuff. I could get way more followers and way more views if I just come on here and sold you horse shit. I'm not that guy. Sorry. I don't like to be done that way. I don't want anybody doing me that way. ETH can't go up 100%. This is Bitcoin's show. I agree, Carmine. He said CME gap is one of the reasons why I think Bitcoin goes back to 65. Fair. Gap is one thing, but isn't there another indicator to help confirm? There's plenty of indicators. Yeah. It's under the trend line. It's under the moving averages. It's stuck. I would agree. But if I'm looking less than short term, I should be looking to get more in, not sell. It still hasn't failed the big trend line. And honestly, it's okay. It's sucky. I would agree. You pull a trend line here for you. Grab the candles, grab the candles. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close here to the trend line and hanging on and not failing. See? So should I really be selling right near the trend line? Man, probably not. I should probably sell it if it fails it, which leads me to believe I should stay here and wait. Sucks, but now I have to. That's just kind of how I see it. I'm sorry. Don't want to lead anyone down the wrong path. Wickfield, maybe. Man, maybe. Let's look at everyone's favorite real fast. XRP. I'm an idiot. All right. So, for the XRP people, You're still hanging out on support. That's the green box. You're still stuck under resistance. That's the red box. You're still stuck under the trend line. I don't think I need to explain to you that you need to be over this trend line. It's not over the trend line. It's stuck in the mud a bit. If I add in any other indicators, like the moving averages, I don't hate this, but the problem is it's now failing the 200 moving average, which is this red line right here. You can't fail the red line. It needs to stay above the 200 moving average. It needs to get back over rapidly. If it continues to fail this 200 moving average and these moving averages start to bunch up and the price falls down here somewhere, that's worrisome. It better not fall too far into this green box, because if it does, these moving averages are going to go all askewed, and they need to come together here and pinch in so the price can boil and make a move up. That's just how it has to work. It needs to get back over the 200 moving average for sure. You don't really have a go signal until this 821 EMA crosses back the other way. You want green over purple, not purple over green. Furthermore, you want it above the 50-day moving average, and it's not. All three of those look rough. Good news is it's over the 100. You do have some good buy pressure on these candles here, and it is on support. So it's, really surfing sideways. On the cloud, it's perfectly on top of it. You like that. What I don't like is the lag line under the candles, the baseline over the conversion line. You only have 2 out of 4 check marks here because you do have a green cloud and you do have the price over the cloud. 2 check marks, 2 X's. I need to see some more improvement here. I do think XRP will have its time. It's just not yet. Bollinger Bands are kind of widening out a little bit. You like to see these Bollinger Bands pinch in here tight. They need to get tight, and the reason they need to get tight is because that's how we know Bollinger Bands are about to pop. When they get tight like this and they start to boil, the price will erupt one direction or the other, and you'll have a breakout. They're not tight enough to break out right now, so it's likely some more consolidation here for XRP. Maybe a run back to the trend line. I'd really, really like to see it get over it. It just might not be time. Wait and see. Again, we kind of told you this was going to happen. We told you it would be October, November before anything grand happened here. We're almost there already. Maybe one day I'll ever want to listen. Probably not. Bro, I recorded that. There's going to be some people pissed that I said, don't let MasterCard steal thunder. That's pretty good. As much as I buy other tokens, Bitcoin's still the big dog and everything is just the tail. If Bitcoin fails, none of the rest have any kind of support. You 100% have my agreement there. Given where that cloud is, XRP looks like it's on a collision course to slam into a green wall. Exactly. One way or another, it's stuck. If you're stuck in the mud, you got to work your own way out, bro. I'm not getting in the mud with you and getting stuck with you. You know what I mean? Not going to do it. Not the wise thing to do. Last thing we'll look at here is the dollar index. So it's somewhat decoupled from crypto here. Big drop on the dollar. However, crypto's kind of gone sideways or down. I need to see this improve rapidly. It hasn't yet. Okay. Once we get back over the trend line here, we can talk. The thing is, I don't think it's gonna. I think it's going to track sideways here and fall more. Probably fall to the end of the year, going into the beginning of the year when we see it start to work its way back up. But then I think it'll trickle sideways here for a while some. Talked about this last time. I like this bearish engulfing. Need that because we need the dollar index to continue to fall in order for money to come out of bonds and safe assets into risk assets. We have a liquidity problem in crypto. We don't have any money being injected or money sitting on the sidelines. I told you the last thing I would look at the dollar index. I forgot to look at USDC. We track stable coins as well. This is USDC dominance, the amount of money going into stable coins. As you see, this is an uptrend on the short side. On the longer side, it's green trend line right here should catch this. I think this is going to bump its head on the trend line and come back down. Love to see that. As you see, stable coins are way down. We need stable coins to stay down or flat for the market cap of all of our favorite cryptos to go up in price. More stable coins means less money and risk. Stable coin is a de-risk. All right, you're de-risking by buying stables. And if you ask me, the only quote unquote safe stable coin is USDC. Yeah, they make one on the Ripple ledger. Bro, get out of my face with that shit, dude. Come on. It don't even work yet. What are you talking about? USDT, they're flaky at best. And USDC is flaky too, but let's be real. They have a partnership with Coinbase, who partners up with the government now. That ain't going away, if you ask me. All right. Just kind of how I see it. Binance has barred former CEO CZ for life for ruining the from running the company. He'll stay and have a powerful say in the company as its majority shareholder. I'm running things, but I'm not running things. Looks like DXY is only affecting stocks. You think Bitcoin and crypto will do a catch up? I do eventually. Stock market usually goes first because that's where the most liquidity is. Stock market first, de-risk out of the stock market, buy something risky like crypto, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin and Ethereum go up, de-risk out of those, roll down into altcoins. Bottom-up economics does not work. It's very simple, all right? Poor people don't pay poor people. Rich people pay poor people. The people at the top have the money and they divvy it out to us for goods and services. That's how it works. It ain't like a bunch of poor people are starting businesses that then hire more poor people. They don't hire rich people either, do they? No. Rich people hire people. Trickle up economics isn't a thing. Trickle down economics is. I wish it was different. Literally, the math says it has to be that way. I hate hearing complaints about trickle-down economics. Do you not understand that's the only way it works? There's a hierarchy in everything in your life, and you think money wouldn't be the same? Come on. You got to know better. You can be one of the rich people. It is not easy, but you can be one. So, I want everyone to do their best to be a rich person. I'm trying to be a rich person. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. I'm busting my ass. I don't sleep. I'm fully stressed out. I don't know if you can tell by looking at my eyes and the area around my eyes, but I'm having a hard time. All right, this shit isn't easy for me. I know y'all sit there and think I'm just sitting here. It's not like that, man. I'm over here stressing out, I promise you. If I had hair, I'd be pulling it out. So, I want to thank you all for watching. We do 45 minutes instead of an hour these days because really there's not a lot of people watching. We might go back to an hour later when there's more people to watch. And I really only cover a few assets on purpose. If you'd like to know more about what we got, hey man, wap.com/team786. We had 20 people leave over the last 2 weeks. Only 8 people took advantage of the discount. You can get a month off if you join now. What are you waiting for? You're going to go back and watch this. Here's your chance. All right, folks. Thank you all for being here. In the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G., then later Jay-Z. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. Make the best of your days today, the worst of your tomorrows. Have a better day than you did the day before. And if nobody else has told you, man, look, I'll tell you, Keith loves you. Y'all be good. Sky's the limit. I'll see y'all on the next stream next Thursday. Y'all be good. Zoom after this. Peace.